Hey Dharma Circle, Swati here, the Embodied Dharma coach, and I want to just talk a little bit about something that showed up in the group today that I think is worth mentioning, and there's some dialogue going on around this, so it's a good time to just speak up, share a little bit more about why I do not allow spiritual bypassing in our group. I don't allow spiritual bypassing in my work or my sacred spaces. Really low tolerance for that kind of behavior. We are humans, and humans are imperfect. Humans have needs. Part of being a human is being in right relationship with the fact that we have an ego. We have an ego self, an ego identity. And in fact, when we resist that truth, things get ugly. Things get even messier. And so I'm of the mind that we are here as humans to create and embody more wholeness in our being. And in fact, wholeness is actually one of my definitions of Dharma. Coming back to a sense of wholeness in body and life, congruency, where we are living our truth and we're sharing our truth in this world, our gifts and our wisdom, which are also ancestral gifts and wisdom. So, incongruence and spiritual bypassing look like denying our humanity, denying our shadow, resisting our messiness, our grief, and resisting, avoiding, numbing, disregarding our needs. And that can sound like wanting to be enlightened or using words like enlightenment. And I grew up with these words. I grew up with these definitions. It's part of actually my personal mythology to unpack how this conditioning has impacted me. And one of the things that's been really helpful for me to acknowledge is that for me, and this is just my personal experience, enlightenment is about embracing all of my parts and pieces without shame, criticism, judgment, self-harm, self-hatred. We can't do that if we're denying our humanity. We can't do that if we're refusing to look at our imperfections or our pain or our grief or our trauma. That's part of being in a human body, and as long as you're in a human body, there are going to be layers to unpack. So denying that truth is actually a form of self-harm and self-betrayal. That's not enlightenment. And I don't care how you want to dress it up or what you want to call it, but enlightenment doesn't come through resisting or negating or avoiding our own humanity. It doesn't. And in fact, what it does is it pushes us deeper and deeper into malnourishment. And we can't experience the wholeness of our being when we're resisting, negating parts of ourselves. And there's usually so much pain and so much grief and so much hurt in the dark corners that it feels easier to bypass it, resist it, avoid it, hand it off to God or spirit or universe or whatever you want to call it. But not showing up and being with our own discomfort and our own grief is a way of increasing malnourishment and keeping us away from the truth of who we are, which is our pleasure, our joy, our creativity, our nourishment, and our abundance. But we don't get there through avoidance. We don't get there through resistance or negating our humanity. And so you'll see my post here in the group. I'm not naming names. There's no need to shame the individual who posted this. But I respectfully ask that this behavior not enter this space or any of my spaces. If you're not willing to do your shadow work and to lean closer to the parts that don't feel good, if you're not willing to strengthen your emotional intelligence, then this group is not for you. My work is not for you. I am not for you, and that's okay. And I wish you well on your journey. You are always welcome to leave this group. Nobody's holding you here. And so if this doesn't resonate with you, good luck on your journey, and I wish you well. And for those that are willing to keep deepening and strengthening your intelligence within and use that as a creative, empowered force in this world, I want to say, welcome! And I'm glad to work with you and to walk with you on this journey. And I look forward to hearing more. And I look forward to sharing more with you in our upcoming Navratri celebrations, which are going to occur in April. And I'll have more details coming up for you about that. But I have a lot of resources to share with you. And it's a good time to step in and clarify for yourself what is most important for you right now. We've just passed the equinox, so this is a balance point. It's a good time to contemplate where we need more balance in our life. This includes our shadow work and looking at the parts of ourselves that are uncomfortable, scary, malnourished, that don't feel balanced, that don't feel safe. These are parts of us that can support more balance if we're willing to look, if we're willing to lean in. And we're also coming up on a full moon, which is occurring this Sunday in Sidereal Virgo and Hasta Nakshatra, as well as the Vedic celebration of Holi, which is a fertility festival full of creative Shakti life force energy. So this is the time to get creative. Spark your creative power. Step forward in your creative truth. And my question for you is, what are you creating with your amazing, magical, precious life? So share that with me below this video, and I'll meet you there. And I look forward to seeing you in our Dharma Summit coming up in April. I'll share a link and more details about the Navratri celebration very soon. Bye, everyone.